A breakthrough infection is an infection with a virus, bacterium, or other germ after you have been vaccinated. This is an expected occurrence for a small percentage of those receiving any vaccine. And since no vaccine, they say, for any disease is 100% effective in preventing infection, and this is in every person who receives it. But breakthrough coronavirus infections happen when someone who has been fully vaccinated for COVID-19 becomes infected with the SARS-CoV-2 virus. Well, joining us to talk more about this from our Abuja studio is Professor Mariam Aminu, Professor of Virology, Head Department of Microbiology and Deputy Dean, Faculty of Life Sciences, Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. Thank you so much for joining us on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Prof, tell us, how common are breakthrough cases of COVID?
Hello, can I?
Yes, go right ahead. How common are breakthrough cases of COVID-19?
For breakthrough cases of COVID-19, is about 4% in populations, and it occurs mostly in immunocompromised patients. Majority of the breakthrough cases we have seen, hospitalized cases, they are about 4%. 4% of those cases are in cases that people that are immunocompromised, that have comorbidity and underlying conditions, such as heart problem, cancer, those that are taking some immunosuppressive drugs. They are the ones, those are cases where we have the breakthrough cases.
There's still the argument of why get COVID even after vaccination. If you can help us to perhaps address that particular question, why?
Well, vaccination is meant to reduce the severity of infection and break the chain of transmission of COVID-19 so that we can get to herd immunity to prevent the population, the vulnerable. For breakthrough infection, it occurs only in those that are mainly immunocompromised. And even if you have taken the full vaccination, you can get infected if you continue to go about not wearing masks and abiding by the non-pharmaceutical preventive measures. So one can get vaccinated. It does not mean that if you are vaccinated, that you will not get infection. We want individuals to be vaccinated, fully vaccinated, so that they cannot spread the virus in the community to those that are at risk, those that are vulnerable. That is why it is important to get vaccinated. It does not mean that one will not be infected. It's just we want to break the chain of transmission and get to that herd immunity so that we can go about our normal ways. Because when herd immunity is achieved, you are protecting the individual. It's like a barrier you are creating. And vaccination is the only way we can achieve that herd immunity.
So essentially, you know, after vaccination, the coronavirus is not necessarily dangerous, but poses a major risk if there are underlying, you know, conditions. So tell us, what are the symptoms of COVID-19 after vaccination? I mean, you're saying that it reduces, but what are some of those symptoms?
The symptoms, the first symptom you will notice is sore throat. After sore throat, you have an headache, which is also common among those that are now fully vaccinated. We also have running nose. We have sneezing. Unusual sneezing is a very common sign of breakthrough transmission. And then the last one is coughing. Persistent coughing is very, very important. It's one of those symptoms of breakthrough transmission. But you have to watch out for that unusual sneezing. This is one of the signs of breakthrough transmission, unusual sneezing.
When you say unusual, is it for a longer period of time?
You know, when you sneeze once or twice, it's okay. But this one, you continue to sneeze and sneeze. It's more than common, more than the normal sneezing you sneeze. If it's unusual, you know that you may have a breakthrough infection. So along with the sore throat, the headache, the running nose, you should watch out for that, for the unusual sneezing.
Can someone be at risk for long COVID? And this is if the person gets a what's it called now, the breakthrough coronavirus infection?
Yes. Majority of those that had risks with long COVID are those that are above 40 years old, women, and those with comorbidity. So the long COVID is majorly found in these individuals: elderly individual, women, and those that are having comorbidity, those that have cancer, HIV patients, those that have heart problem, those that are taking immunosuppressive drugs. They usually have this long COVID.
Finally, tell us about the link between achieving herd immunity and the breakthrough coronavirus infections, and this is in a population.
Okay, herd immunity, also known as community immunity, is like preventing the population from a disease when about 80% or above of the population have been infected with the virus or the causative agent, in this case, COVID-19. Herd immunity is achieved when we have a lot of individuals that have been vaccinated. With herd immunity, if we have enough individuals being vaccinated, it will reduce the breakthrough transmission, because breakthrough transmission have been found in 80% of unvaccinated individuals. So it's very, very important that people get vaccinated. If we reach herd immunity, it will break the chain of transmission. It will act like a barrier to prevent those that may not be vaccinated against the vaccination. So because individuals that are immunocompromised, they do not develop that complete immunity, enough immunity to prevent reinfection. That is why it is important that if a large number of the population are vaccinated, it will prevent individuals from having the breakthrough transmission, even if they are immunocompromised and they have taken the full dose and they are susceptible to the virus. So what is important is that large percentage of the population must be protected. They must be vaccinated so that they can break that barrier and break the transmission of the virus. So much so that those that are immunocompromised, that are susceptible to the virus, even after they have been fully vaccinated, because of poor immunity, they will not get infected. It will reduce the breakthrough infection if large number of individuals are vaccinated.
Professor Miriam Aminu, Head Department of Microbiology, Deputy Dean, Faculty of Life Sciences, Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us and joining us on the program.
Thank you for having me.